Welcome to your support group podcast, home of the number one podcast that supports you at what you like to do. As always, I shouldn't even tell you who we are. We just two random black people. That's who we are. Kenny and Q as always. I was watching the news and it dawned on me how crazy the world is sometimes. Former President Trump, even though some people like to not even put the president associated with his name, but former President Trump, he just rode up out of Georgia like he was like King Arthur or something like like he was like, oh, I have the sword and and I wave it and I win. And I'm surprised that nobody came for him or said anything about him or anything like that. It was like to little to no fanfare about it, but it just reminded me how crazy the world is. Like if me and you went out there and broke 7 laws and got charged with those 7 laws, I think we'd be in jail right now. Right now. No bail.
No doubt about it. What are you talking about? You think you unequivocally, we will be under the jail.
Yeah, we'll be singing Christmas songs in jail, New Year songs, Halloween songs. And that's not even the year 2023 that we're talking about singing those songs. But I realized something that he's notorious at doing, and that's talking about other people. Like as soon as something bad is brought up about him, he extends the offer to talk about somebody else. Oh, Hillary was doing it, so I shouldn't be getting charged with this. Biden was doing this. Obama was doing this, and that's one of the things I want to talk about today. A bunch of stuff people do every day that they don't even notice that they do every day. Like talk about other people.
Mm-hmm.
You ever be around a person and they constantly got something to say about everybody else? And then it also dawns on you that maybe, just maybe, that when you're not around, maybe you're the topic of discussion as well.
Like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, you gotta be careful about that.
Yeah, like I'll be looking at people like, so what do you say about me when I'm not around? Because they constantly talk about people. I mean, they talk about everything from the people outside of their life to the people inside of their life. And they talk about them horribly and they say little things. And then when their children don't want to have nothing to do with them, or their wife or their significant other, male, female, whoever, doesn't want to do nothing with them, then they wonder why. It's because you talked about that person so horribly that they didn't even have to know. They felt it. You could feel when somebody, like when you walk in the room and you know how everybody say the room got quiet as soon as you walked in. Sometimes it don't get quiet, but you can feel the quietness inside, and that's your spirit telling you like, hey, there's some haters in this. hey, it's me, your spirit. Hear me.
Yeah.
It's some haters in here.
It's your ancestors trying to let you know. Yeah, that ain't your tribe right there.
Nah,
yeah.
You don't need to be rocking with them. Yeah, they worse than candy corn. Worst damn candy I ever seen.
Why do people keep cracking on candy corn? I actually enjoyed candy corn as a kid.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I look forward to those. Maybe I'm just weird, but I like them.
I hate candy corn. I hate it. Like if you give me like a bag of candy corn, I'm just gonna be like, thank you. And then I'm throwing it straight in the trash as soon as I got home for Halloween. Like candy corn, like come on, candy corn to me is like giving kids apples. No, you want to give them the good candy, the Snickers, the gummy bears, stuff like that. And see, even right then, I'm talking bad about candy. Like candy ain't did nothing wrong to me, but I'm talking about candy corn behind his back. Like, yeah, like what's up with that? But we do that stuff. And people do that stuff every day. Another thing, complaining and this all falls into the conversation of talking about people, but complaining as well, like just complaining about everything every second of the hour. Like
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stand a person that constantly, consistently complain. Oh, this would be a whole lot better if Q would lead off and actually, because I'm really getting tired of every day, starting the machine and everything like that. Because Q, man, I don't even be knowing about Q sometimes, man. I think she, you know, she be hanging out
Right.
with her girls. She ain't never got no time for me. Like, like
Mind you, we don't live in the same state, but
not in the same state. Not in the same state. But that's the way people be complaining. If you ever
yeah, they
pay
do.
attention, they do that. Like you be like, what the hell are you talking about now?
Yeah. Or you have that coworker who complains about the work while you're trying to work, and you're like, if you would just go sit at your desk and do your work, the work would be done. Like, why are you talking to me? I'm trying to do the work.
If your hand is empty and you're complaining, you're the problem. If your hands are empty and you're complaining at work, you are the problem. I don't know how many times I look over at people just complaining and stuff like that, and I'm busy working, minding my business, just having me a good old time to myself, sing my little tunes inside my head, maybe some Earth, Wind, and Fire, whatever, but I'm working, I'm minding my business. And they be like, man, if they just would have this and this and this and this, I say, you know what? You can actually move that, or you can actually do
Yeah.
XYZ to make them see that, some things ain't gonna get fixed in a day. Sometimes, it may take a little bit of complaining, but at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, if you just sit around and you just complain and never do nothing, it's kind of like, since we brought up presidents, it's kind of like voting. You have no dog in the race if you do not vote. Same thing with work. If you do not put no
Right.
effort in and you do not do anything to make the situation better, then what the hell are you complaining about?
Yeah. I always say, if you have an observation, at least in your mind, if you think that it's wrong, at least have the wherewithal to come up with some type of solution, even if it's not doable. Maybe your idea might spark something that can be done. You know what I mean? Like, don't just be
Right,
complaining just for the sake of complaining. At least have some ideas about how to fix the problem. You
right,
know?
right. Yeah, because that's 110% my thought. I don't, in a sense, I don't do any complaining.
Mm-hmm.
I do fussing. It's totally different because I'm like, why did you move all the stuff that I put here to make it better for everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
Instead of me saying, oh, well, I wish they wouldn't have put that there. I'm not going to fix it. I just wish they fix it themselves. No, I'll move it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to fuss at you for moving it and making it harder for everybody else. See, my
Right.
goal always is to make everything easier for the next person that's coming behind me. So,
Oh
for
my
example,
goodness.
any job that I work on, any job, let me break this down into simplified terms. Let me do the legwork for you to see if it's a better way that we can do this. Every job I've ever worked, I've always done it like that, And some people, sometimes I get pushback from the old guard, saying we've been doing it this way for 20 years. Well, 20 years
Right. It's time
may,
for change.
may need to have to change, because let me tell you something. I'm not about to be working stupidly and foolishly up out here, hurting myself and making myself tired and busting my brain. And I'm coming home and Carson like, hey, daddy. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? It's daddy, the zombie. No, no, no. So I always try to do things in a better way. And some people don't understand. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just fussing. Just fussing.
Yeah.
I'll get over it soon.
Oh, I fuss. I be sending out emails. I be like, first of all, why you sent this to me
Screw the
because you know
chicken,
it's
the
wrong.
click you claim. What side is
Yeah, like you knew you shouldn't even send this to me because I'm a authorizer, so I have to look over other people's work. And one of the things that I have, just use your common sense. If we're trying to pay out money and your award is negative, that's not right. Why are we
right?
taking money if we're supposed to be paying money? So why would you even send that to
Right.
me? Like that don't even make sense. So those are the things that I get on people about. It's like, this ain't right. Well, what you send this to me for? If you got a question, ask the question.
I think in some terms, when we look at people, especially nowadays, I think in some terms they think like, "Oh, let me hurry up and get this done, get this done, get this done," because this is work. I want to get done with work and get
Mm-hmm.
home away from this. So they like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay," because they're not old school like us because we can separate work from home and home from work. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as I walk into the building, I'm work Kenny. And as soon as I walk out,
Yeah.
I'm home Kenny. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people bring their whole selves to work
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. And so what happens is they thinking about all the stuff they got to do at home. Oh, and they rushing through the work and they're not double checking their actual work. Because I used to run into the same thing too when I worked for companies I shall not name. But they never, because they were younger cats. So they never like double check their paperwork and anything like that. And then when the shipments start coming in and they was wondering why they was short, I would say, hey, you know, did you look at it before you sent in the order?
Mm-hmm.
Because they specifically told you if you didn't order XYZ, they was not shipping ZYX. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't get it. But they understood towards the end, like, hey, you got to order that other part in order to get this part.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, people don't, people are always in a rush and they don't want to separate things from home and work life. And speaking of home and work life, let's talk about the food that we eat because people don't realize every day that they probably eat some bad babbage. They be in a rush to get home from work and then they be tired and they be like, let's stop at McDonald's. And then the next day they're like, let's stop at McDonald's, let's stop at Mc, let's stop at Mc, let's stop at Mc. And no, it's not glitching. That's really me doing that. And then you turn into a whole week of let's stop at McDonald's. And then you look around, you're like, holy crap, I ate 7 days worth of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can they do since you are a working mom? That's right. Yeah. Got the working mom here. So you got the working mom who has the kids and a husband,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you got so many other things. You got Zumba. How do you program your meals? Because I mean, it's real easy to just be like, you know what? Screw it. I am tired. Mom is not cooking. F you kids. You just gonna just deal with those hot dogs. You better boil them hot dogs and shut up because these oodles and noodles is popping.
So one of the things you can do, and I know a lot of people they don't like meal prep because it's like, oh, I gotta eat the same thing for 3 or 4 days. But if you're going to McDonald's for 3 or 4 days, what's
You
the
are technically eating
difference?
the same thing. Yeah.
So it's like get you like today I'm gonna make some cabbage with green peppers and red peppers, and we got a roasted chicken. So that'll probably last a couple of days. And then on while on that second day, so it'll be for today, tomorrow, and on Monday night, I'll cook something for the next 2 days. So it's like always trying to work ahead. You know what I mean? And then on
Right.
Fridays I don't cook. So the kids get to go one time a week to go get something that they want, like
Freestyle
pizza
Fridays.
or
Mm-hmm.
right, exactly. And
Yeah.
then on Saturdays, if I'm not out with my friends or I have a girlfriend, she loves to cook. So she always inviting us to her house to cook. And I don't turn down no free food. So I'm there.
Especially when it's good free food. Now you gotta put the good part
Yes.
on there because you
Well,
got.
she's from New Orleans like me. So
Oh,
she
okay.
last night she had some crab legs and sausage and shrimp. I was like, yeah, this is it. And she had salad on the side. So we was getting it in.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
feelings hurt
it's good.
because I mean all that sounds good, but I can't eat shellfish. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. I hate you shellfish eating bastards. y'all get y'all get to eat everything you want. But no, I had
Yeah.
to, and this is why my meals are so diverse and different than everybody else, because I had to like come to a conclusion like, hey, I'm allergic to shellfish, so I can't eat shellfish. So it's got to be other things out here that I can eat. So I got the island blood in me, so goat was easy. Lamb, I eat lamb. But I also too try a variety of different fish, just not
Mm.
the same fish all the time. Like, people always go salmon and whiting and perch and nah, I want that grouper. I want that one that looked like he just got out the mud and his one eye is sticking up on top of here. I wonder what he tastes like. Give me some shark, let me try those different things. And I hope ain't nobody from PETA on here talking about, oh my God, he eats shark and lamb and goat. Save the lambs and the goats. You know what? Screw you. If you got on the plate and you taste good, somebody might eat you too.
Ah.
Anyway, no. So we also too, we take turns as far as cooking as well, because I know my wife be tired. I know I be tired sometimes. So I try to catch towards the end of the week. I let her set it off. I let her set it off. But we try to do meals that last us a couple of days just to, make sure that, nobody's like really getting
Mm-hmm.
stressed out about cooking, because it can happen real quick. You're like, hey, what we eating for dinner? What do you want?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hungry. I don't know what I want. Oh boy, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, you
Yeah.
ain't got no choice. There's leftovers in there. You better go warm them leftovers up
Right.
and be happy about it. But yeah, we try to prep our meals and come up with ideas for the week. Like, hey, let's do a roast. Roast can last us 2-3 days. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every with the exception of me, everybody else eat like birds around here. So
I about
roast.
to say, because you don't need a lot of food. Carson, what she eat like a little? I'm done, Daddy.
Yeah. I'm done, Daddy. Where's the ice cream? I want ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't eat a lot, so I have my moments when I go in, but like for the most part, my meals are very small. Even when we go out to a restaurant, like I eat half the food and then bring it home, and then somebody end up eating the food because you know how people are. They don't have no respect for your stuff. Be like,
Yeah.
"Where's my such and such?" It's gone.
That
Somebody belly.
Yeah, that normally happens around here with my chocolate or any type of ice cream sandwich or something like that I bring home. Like my stuff as far as like my sweets do not stay. Like I love cookies. I love like the Chip Ahoy like soft batch cookies.
Hmm.
Ever since I got braces and they got removed, my teeth is like, we don't like that hard stuff. Like I can't even like eat, because I used to eat like the mixed nuts and stuff like that. I can't eat
Hmm.
all that stuff on a regular basis because my mouth would be like, no, no, no. So I like the soft batch cookies, and I have a mysterious helper that comes and eats those every day.
Hmm.
I don't know where
Yeah.
this little helper comes from, but I would say it begins with K and ends with arson. Cause this
Uh,
this little run of mine, I swear to you, as soon as she hear that cookie wrapper open up, she like, Daddy, I want
we got
some.
cookies. We got cookies.
And I'll be trying to stash them too, but I even that, I try to make sure that it's not an everyday thing, because at the end of the day, I don't want her to have to get no braces. I don't want her to get no teeth removed, because I see some of your kids walking around here with these little cavities. And I'm going to tell you something. One of those things that you forget to do every day, or you don't notice that you do every day, is let your kids eat candy. Can't let them eat candy every day. Carson is already hyper enough and crazy enough. when they turn to teenagers, you can eat all you want to, but you're gonna feel that pain because I'm gonna crack some jokes. I have one of my teens, my middle one, she had to get some teeth removed because of eating them daggone sweets. And the whole entire time when she was riding the car doped up, I was recording. That's for my personal records many years from now when she probably getting married or something. I'm just gonna put it up on the wall and let it play in the lobby or something like that. She goes like, "Daddy, no!" I'll be sitting back somewhere laughing. She ain't gonna find me because I'll probably be too old to run by then. But who knows? I probably still be able to run. But yeah, it's just a lot of things that people don't pay no attention that they actually do. They step on a crack, break their mama back, pass by a black cat. It's just like, but it's a lot of things that you don't notice that you do every day. I mean, for one, I never really paid attention to the amount of coffee that I consume. And I can say this on my end, but I probably consume with this tall thing right here. I consume 2 of those. So that's probably the equivalent of about 4 cups of coffee a day. That's a lot of coffee. It's a lot of coffee. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I can look at myself, and I volunteer everybody to kind of look at themselves and realize some of the bad habits that they do every day. Just give it like a week or two to kind of change that habit and see how you feel after changing that habit. If, for example, I love coffee. I think it's like in my blood. No, I'm lying because I was raised on tea. But I was raised on tea. I have the British influence. But I think, just coffee. I love coffee so much. And I don't like Star Clucks or Crack Bucks or however you call it. I don't like their coffee. I like homemade coffee. And it has to be the good coffee. I'm sorry. I don't buy Senka, the little instant coffee, or I don't do none of those because they leave a little funky aftertaste because of all the preservatives. So if you look in the mirror or if you notice your day-to-day habits are consistent, give a change a try. That's all I'm saying. Anything to add to that, Q?
Also, evaluate your driving because a lot of people who have licenses think just because they have one and that they've not been in an accident that they're the best drivers. But verily, verily, I say unto you, your driving probably sucks. You're probably doing a lot of dumb things on the road. And you're getting on other people's nerves, mainly me.
Yeah.
So just look at how you drive.
Yeah. And that's coming from a lady that used to work at the DMV. So on that note, if you would like to check out this podcast episode or any of our other podcast episodes, or just check and see what we do, you can go to www.ysgpodcast.com. And you can also click subscribe, do all that stuff right there down at the bottom, and keep up with us on YouTube as well. I thank you all for your time. I appreciate you, and see you next episode. Peace.